everybody, and welcome to Necesse. This is the start of a series that I really got the inspiration for. I want to review games that I'm playing, that I stumble upon and really like, or games that I'm looking forward to that I finally got my hands on, either through early access, Kickstarter benefits, what have you, as long as it's within the rules to do so, of course. But this game today, Necesse, is obviously early access, as you can see right here on this screen. And they recently got version 0.2, and that's when I picked it up. When it got highlighted on my Steam featured, but first thing you'll see I continue here, but normally you'll just start with these options right here: new world, low world, host world, multiplayer settings, achievements and stats, feedback, exit, and some buttons on social media right here, and language options. Settings, your general dynamic zoom level 125%. I find that my my settings being 1980 by 1080, 125%, 125% works well for me. I don't pause on focus loss because I usually watch YouTube whenever I'm playing survival crafty sandbox games like this. And I don't always skip the tutorial because I get the feeling that I'll be playing this game. The gaps of me playing this game are going to be very large since I play it all the way to the limit of the current content and then I wait for new content. So I'm probably going to forget stuff, or they might add new stuff in their interim. Say performance on focus loss, dynamic zoom level is also there. I don't mess with this stuff, but I'm sure it's useful in some way, shape, or form. Language options. I really need to brush up on my Chinese and Russian, unfortunately. So we're not going to understand any of this. If I switch it, we'll just keep it on English. You have controls here, basic just WASD, left mouse click, right mouse interact, but you can, I'm assuming you can switch all this. I do like the default settings, so I'm going to be keeping that for this demonstration. Interface. Lots of options here. You can change the size of your interface. So I imagine if you're running a smaller resolution, you want a smaller interface to match. Dynamic interface size, which is nice. Pixel font. So this is disabled by default, and apparently I saw in one of the notes on the developer logs and discussions about the game that the pixely fonts were hard to read. They're still included for people that like them, but I'm just going to stick with this font because I think it's comfortable and nice, and I like it. Item tooltip backgrounds, basic tooltip backgrounds, stuff like that. I like seeing health bars. I like seeing teammate markers and quest markers, so I keep those on. I haven't messed with wiring in this game, but I'm sure logic gate tooltips would be nice. I also like to see how much damage I'm doing, damage over time, stuff like that. And I like seeing what I pick up because sometimes I just don't pay attention to any what I pick up, what I'm seeing on screen. You can change your cursor color, which is nice. Then you have graphics. I have everything maxed out as best I can. Normally, the game starts by default normal, like this. As you can see, it's a little bit less color. I like vibrant. I think they recently added that as well, which is nice. No FPS cap. You could change which is your main monitor for this game, which I like. I actually like this because sometimes Windows screws. I set the current monitor you're seeing. I have a 2-monitor setup, so I have this big monitor as my current monitor default for Windows, but sometimes games like to override that to a different monitor, which is odd. So I like the fact that you can control this and change it in game. It's very nice. This is isometric, so when you go behind something, it drops the walls. When you're behind them, I like that a lot. So we're definitely not going to do tall walls. And I don't like camera shake. Personally, it's on by default, so it's up to you. And I like grass, to see grass, so we're going to keep that. Sound, I have everything turned down, mainly because I'm usually watching like YouTube or something, or jamming out to music whenever I'm playing games for long periods of time. So I generally turn everything down, but the sound in this game is nice. It sounds good. Everything sounds appropriate. So I think that's it for the menus. There's also achievements and stats. I like that they include achievements in this, so I don't have to go going through the Steam interface for it. As you can see, I've got a lot of achievements already for this game. There's one biome I'm missing, and I'm not quite sure. I also like that you could track them in game, and it shows up in game. I've almost played for a full 24 hours. Hey, who knows? Maybe this video will get me that. I'm not a fisher in any games, but with a fishing potion and a specific rod fishing rod that'll show you, you can get 3 fish at a time, so I'm sure you can knock this out real quick. Inventory full of different items. That's interesting because I've literally had an inventory full of different items, and so I'm not sure why I haven't got this yet. All possible settler professions, which I'll go over in the gameplay when I get to the gameplay part. I got a lot of professions. I don't have all of them, and I know that. I've met a lot of NPCs in the game that have professions I don't have yet. But I'll explain that in the game. Obtain all possible items, which is nice. You can track that here and have a settler reach 100% happiness. So this, hard for me because, well, I know there's going to be a lot of changes, so I'm not like focused on doing that. Probably to my detriment since it might be harder later. Anyway, player stats, which is cool. You can show see the damage type. So not only can you see like damage dealt, which I've done a lot, but you can also see the type breakdown of each. Wow, 39 minutes. Oh, I literally need like some odd minutes. Cool. 21 minutes. You can see all the different types of enemies you killed. There's a lot of different types of enemies. Wow. You can show all the biomes you've gone to, which is weird considering that village and regular is different. You see the food you've consumed, potions you consumed, missing items. You can see all the different items in the game, which is interesting. But yeah, you can keep track of that for the achievement. It's really cool. Trinkets, which are accessories in the game. It's interesting how I'm missing some of these because I literally have made combinations of certain ones. Like I've combined this with another one, but I guess it's keeping track of what I've worn. So there's that. Set bonus is worn. Other things. Ladders used. Doors used. Okay, what was that? Levers flicked? Interesting. I haven't seen a lever yet. But yeah. So now, when you click New World, you can customize your character. There's different hair types, different hair colors you can do. You can change color with the sliders. You can also use this to change the color, which is nice. I kind of would like for there to be a drop-down option as well for people like me who don't really care to do color too much. I just want to basically be like purple, and that's it. But maybe they'll add that in the future. Who knows? But we'll go into the world that I already have and get right down to it. So, as you can see, I've already gone quite far into the game. And the first thing I wanted to talk about was the inventory system, which is set to E by default, opening your inventory. As you can see, we just have regular grid. We have equipment over here. We have hotbar down here, trash. We have sort, restock from nearby inventories, which is nice. So then you don't have to go through all your chests. Quick stack the nearby inventories, which again, you don't have to go to each individual chest to do it. I just prefer to go to each individual chest whenever I do it because that's a habit I built from like Terraria and Minecraft and such. Another crafty survival sandbox game that I played. Just those two are the biggest ones I could think of off the top of my head. But your hotbar can have a lot of different things, you know, tools and such. Tools, weapons, spells. You have the basic crafting over here, which is interesting because you can also filter it, which makes me wonder if they're going to make this have more items in this menu later. You have now one thing I do like that this game does that I haven't seen in other games is you actually have pouches for individual things. So you have like the coin pouch to store all your coins because they stack up to 5,000 in this game. Like one coin or a coin stack goes up to 5,000, it starts a new stack. Coin pouch eliminates the need for that, but you don't get that right off the bat. You have to beat, I think you have to beat a couple of bosses before you get that. You get a potion pouch too after some progression in the game. And a lot of these I got from doing quests, which I will go over in a little bit. But you have the coin pouch, you have the potion pouch, and the potion pouch is its own inventory, stores only potions. If you have it on your hotbar or in your inventory, when you pick up a potion, it automatically goes in there. And if you pick up a potion you already have in here, it automatically stacks into there until the stack or bag is full. You have the void bag. This is the advanced version of the void bag. There used to be a void pouch that I had. The void bag and the void pouch share inventory. So the void pouch is these first two lines, but when you get the bag, it doubles it to 4 lines. It's handy. You can keep like a lot. It basically doubles your inventory. It's very nice. I have it set. I don't know. I can't remember if you can change it. But when you die, everything up here gets dropped on the ground, but everything in your hotbar stays. If you have a void bag in your hotbar and you have stuff in it, you keep it when you die. So this is a great way to, like, if you're out harvesting in a dangerous zone or a high difficulty zone for you, you can just throw stuff in the void bag and then throw that void bag in your toolbar or your quick bar or hot bar or whatever you want to call it. I say hot bar, toolbar. I switch around. And boom, you keep it even if you die. There's also the ammo bag, ammo pouch, and then your lunch box, which is basically a food pouch. And then you have, was there another thing? No, I think that was it. I'm interested for the reason why there isn't a bait bag or a tackle box. That would be a nice thing. Maybe even a spell book. I guess each spell is a different book, but maybe like I don't know, a tome pouch or something like that for different spells. I don't know. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Everyone starts with a crafting guide. So like in a game like Terraria, you have the guide, which is an NPC you talk to. You show him an item, or you put an item in the box, like the little box in his text box, and it shows you what you can make with that item. Necesse takes that system and makes it an item for you that you literally start the game with. And if you somehow lose it, you can always craft it, which is good. Basically, you right click here, and if it says material in it, crafting material, you put it in here, boom. Which is nice. I like that. It's a very good system. Money pouch, basic. One other cool thing about these pouches is I have it highlighted here. If I left click, I drink all my potions that are in there. One of every potion. So you don't have to like open it, pick up one, and use one. Coin pouch. I don't know why you would do this, but you can left click and throw some money out. You can also left click it or right click it here to take coins out. Don't know why you do that. Maybe you're giving money to your friend or whatever, or friends or whatever that are playing with you. Accessory slots, yes. You have 4 to start with. You get a 5th one after you beat the 3rd intended boss. So I say intended boss. There's an intended progression to bosses. which bosses you're supposed to beat in which a certain order. You can beat them out of order. Some bosses are harder with lesser equipment. If you don't have equipment or drops from a previous boss, which are really powerful, it may make other bosses harder if you fight them out of order. And I won't fight all the bosses in this, but I'll just fight a couple to show you the gist of how combat works and how bosses are in this game. But yeah, you start with 4, you beat a certain boss, you get an item that gives you an extra one, and when you beat the boss that's currently at the end of the content, the last boss they have implemented currently, he drops an item that gives you another permanent slot. And accessories, which they're called in Terraria, which I'm used to, but trinkets in this game, there's a lot of them. That's my food box. There's a lot of them. Some of them are in here. I also have other weapons and stuff in here. I'm not as organized as some people are. But there's a lot of different trinkets that do a lot of different things. This increases your damage based on missing health. This is one made from 2 different trinkets combined. Attacks slow target and deals 35 damage over 5 seconds via burn. Increases your crit damage. Improved health regeneration. And you'll see that some trinkets and weapons have prefixes, which you can change by going to the wizard in your settlement if you have one, or by going to a settlement, which I haven't found a settlement that doesn't have one, a wizard at another settlement. And for a fee, they can change a prefix. This is really cool. You see it in Minecraft and Terraria. Ooh, John's a blacksmith. I don't have a blacksmith yet. But I don't have money to hire him, unfortunately. I could probably go to the pawnbroker and sell some stuff. But anyway, you can change the prefixes. I try to do armor and move speed because in this game, move speed is very important. Very, very much important. And I keep saying Terraria because there's some, like, I really want to believe, at least I really want to believe that this game is very much inspired by it. Because you have like weapons like this, which are like a boomerang, which they do melee damage, which is a ranged weapon for melee users. Because some bosses really punish melee in this game. And then you also have this, which is a weapon you can get in Terraria. Yeah, boxing glove gun, but it's called something different. Yeah, void boomerang. Boomerangs are melee damage. But yeah. There's all sorts of different accessories. They do all sorts of different things. This is to promote this game, so I won't show you everything so you can explore yourselves. There's different damage types in the game. There's summoning damage. There's melee damage. There's magic damage. There's range damage. And I really like one of the things this game does with summoning. As you can see, I can summon like six dudes at a time. I have a weapon that summons a pair of skeletons every time I use it. So E2 counts as 1. So I have 12 skeletons, but since 2 count as 1, a pair count as 1 summon, I can use summon 6 times. But this does not count toward my max summon count. These are temporary summons. They do damage. These spirits fly in, do a damage, and sacrifice themselves to do the damage, which is nice. I like that because it makes it so you can be a pure summon damage build instead of mixing and matching like I have with Shadow Beam. There aren't a lot of options for permanent summon weapons, and this game is again in early access, so I'm sure they're going to add more as the game continues to develop, and I'm sure they're going to add more horizontal progression instead of just vertical progression. Whereas instead of just always getting stronger and stronger stuff, there's going to be more options that are of the same quote unquote tier on where you're at in the game as the game progresses. I'm sure there's definitely going to be more in the future. You have cosmetic slots. As you can see, I prefer this nice purple road void getup kind of deal versus the glacial stuff. Also because the void outfit uh, has this nice purple glow to it. There's other armor sets, which I will talk about in a little bit when I talk about crafting. But the one more thing I want to talk about trinkets before I go to crafting and talking about tiers and armor sets and stuff like that is this game also has different ability trinkets. So these are accessories that you can customize with a prefix to give a benefit, but also they give you an ability. So your spacebar normally is like a jump in 2D games like this, but in this game, since it's top down, there's no jump, right? So I have this blink ability. You get it from a certain boss. Normally, you can only do one blink before it goes on cooldown, but I have a trinket that lets me do more. It adds 2 dash charges, so I can do 3 blinks before it goes on cooldown. I can't use it again. There are different ones. There's one that's a shield, but apparently it's got a really bad drop rate for me personally. The wiki says it's got like a certain percent chance. That percent chance for me may as well be like 0 due to the desire sensor being a thing. I don't have another ability trinket. Did I put it in my bag? Where are you? There's a sprint ability trinket, and I seem to have lost it. Oh, here it is. This pushes me. It does. So with this, it seems the same, but you can still get hit by attacks. With this, you can literally just, boink, you stop existing, and the attack you can literally teleport through the attack, which is why I have it instead. There's a sprint ability also, but yeah, I've yet to see a trinket that increases the sprint meter, so that's why I use the dash instead, even though I do like the sprint for traveling. For crafting, one thing I do like, you have like the typical tiers of copper, iron, gold. There's some games that do like silver then gold, but you have the typical Minecraft progressions: so copper, iron, gold, and then you have frost, which is interesting considering that frost is marginally better than gold, and at least for me, I didn't go. A swamp island was closer, so I was able to get the ivy stuff for before I got the frost stuff. Which again, I don't know why the ivy stuff is not on the anvil, which is odd. But yeah, and same thing with the demonic stuff. But anyway, you have the different tiers. It's supposed to go these copper, iron, gold, frost, and then it's supposed to go demonic and then ivy. Oh, my apologies. I made a mistake. I skipped to demonic and then ivy and completely skipped frost. But anyway, there's a bunch of cool stuff you can start with. But one thing I really like is the use nearby inventories checkbox. So when I mouse over this, it actually shows the radius at which this crafting station will draw from storage boxes. It'll check the inventory of each of the storage boxes in this white area, and it will use those, use the items in those when present to craft, which I super love because if there's one thing I hate is that some games when they do this, it's only like 1 block or 2 blocks away, so you have to put it right next to it. This, you could put that, you could put this, you could put like 12 boxes, like you could put a bunch of boxes. I mean, look at this. Man, you could put a metric ton of inventory space in the range of this crafting station. And it'll detect all of that, which is nice. You can also craft boss summons here. Again, I won't find all the bosses, but I will show you some of them, a couple of them. And then you have this, you have other crafting benches that do like this cosmetic stuff, which actually, I say cosmetic, but this actually, these items do have a function. You can click show hidden to stuff you may not have the materials for, or stuff that's hidden by default. And I can understand why, because it's very cluttered. But still yet very controlled. Same thing for the alchemy table. You can show hidden. It only hides one potion, though, the greater health potion. You also have cooking places like this roasting station and this cooking station over here. That's about it for crafting, I believe. The next thing I want to show you that's on this menu real quick is the world map. So normally, as for Minecraft, you just keep going and going and going, and it loads the chunks. Terraria, another big name I keep mentioning. I really love Terraria. It makes me really like this game. Really makes me think of it. This is a thing I've seen in a couple other games like Regions of Ruin, where you have different places you can explore other than where you're currently at. So I'm on an island right now, and if I go to the edge, it'll give me a button that says travel east, travel west, travel northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest, south, or wherever, depending on what edge I go to. So going to the world map, it'll show me all the islands. Normally you can only see one square away. I have an accessory that lets me see 2 squares away. It'll also let me travel 2 squares away, but there are mounts you can equip in this slot. I have a hoverboard for traveling, but in my void bag, I keep this steel boat. You get a wood. You can make a wood boat at the beginning. You can get the steel boat from by crafting a certain boss drop into the steel boat, and this increases your travel distance by 2. Yeah, I recently died here. I can't remember why. Oh, I think I was exploring something. But anyway, you can go to different places, plains. Oh, I haven't been to a plains biome. Anyway, as you can see, there's like a desert village, snow island, desert island, forest village island, plains, and 2 pirate villages. Anyway, and there's like a dungeon island too. It's really cool. This is new. I haven't seen this in many games. I really like it. It's really cool. It gives the chance for the developer to add a whole bunch of different types of islands you can go to, more than just the 5 types that are currently available. It gives a lot of a creative opening for the game. I also would like to point out that settlements, like villages, have NPCs where very much like your own settlement, which I'll talk about momentarily, that you can buy from. You can recruit them to go to your settlement. So you can like poach villages. You can basically just go to a village, and if you have the items the villagers are requesting to be recruited, you can literally just recruit a whole village into yours and have them migrate over to yours. I think that's about it. Pirate settlements are not friendly. I don't know. I don't know if you guys think pirates are friendly by default. Some might. But they're definitely, which is weird because raiders and pirates are different. Pirates stay on their island, but you do get raiders from time to time, which I will talk about. Maybe they'll appear during this video. Who knows? Then you have a quest menu. I'm sure you might not have noticed, but I'll point out anyway. Keeps track of your quests. Right now, there's only 1 NPC that gives quests. There might be more later. But right now I have, hey, look, time wasted achievement. Cool. Played this game for 24 hours. But deliver crawler's foot. Go to deep desert caves. Kill a crawler. Take its foot. Bring it back to the guy. Boom, done. Then you have the settlement menu. So now we'll talk about settlements. You can get from an NP. You can craft what's called a settlement banner, and you just plop that right down, and it designates that island as a settlement owned by you. You can change the settings of it. You can change the name. I name my Grandia because I love that game. Shout out to Grandia fans. And you can make it public. You can unclaim this settlement. It's owned by my character name. I just named my character Chris. Then you can keep track of your settlers here. I have 13 right now. I mouse over them. It shows me where they are. Or it highlights them if they're on screen. It tells me how happy they are here. It's funny, I haven't gotten the achievement for having us extremely happy. So anyway, you can move settlers to another settlement, so you have multiple settlements. You could do that. You could banish them. I don't know why you would, unless you don't like one. You can rename them. I haven't named them after people I care about because, well, raiders. Yeah, cool. But each settler has a different job, unless they're a villager, in which case they're just here for random generic stuff. But you have the broken pirate. They harvest stuff. They can sell stuff to you. You can sell stuff to them. One thing to point out is that all shopkeepers, with the exception of one, all traders, I guess I should say, with the exception of one or two, they all only accept one item to purchase from you. Whereas the pawnbroker settler will accept anything for money. But I don't know if his rates are different from the other shopkeep rates, trader rates. But yeah, there's that. There's housing. As you can see, I've made a house for them. And normally, in the vein of like Terraria, you would just throw them in a box with the bare minimum. In this game, actually varying their furniture makes them happier. And I don't know what more happiness does. It hasn't made them offer new items, that's for sure. There may be more to the happiness thing in the future. Or maybe it's just something I'm sleeping on and I don't realize how much of an impact it can make. Villagers do need to eat food, which is interesting considering I literally have a thing filled with food, but they never go for it. They always go for like the farming stuff, like the farm thing in the center there, or like random bushes that are near their houses. Raiders are attacking, so this is a good time to show you a bit of combat, even though I was saving that for last. And raids. Raids are actually very powerful. They're very strong. I'm going to hopefully not die too badly to them here. I truly like this area. Your settlers will actually help you fight. I don't know what happens if they die. I don't know if they leave permanently. They haven't died on me yet, which is nice. But your settlers do actually help you in combat. And they do, if you carry, like, you saw those flags in the center of the town. If you carry those flags, it actually gives you a buff to you and anyone around you. Ooh, I'm sorry. Oh, don't die. That would be bad. 1 sec. This is actually more difficult than I thought. Yeah, so I guess the more your settlement grows, or I'm not sure if it's tied to settlement progression, like settlement population, or if it's tied to how many bosses you've defeated, but the raids get bigger, and they also get, beefier and do more damage. I have like the best armor for summoners that I can get in the game at this point, and boy, do those raiders hit me like a train. You normally start with 100 health, which is not a lot, but when you beat the first boss, you get something that increases your health to 200. And then when you beat a specific boss, I won't spoil it. When you beat a specific boss, they drop an item that lets you go to deeper caves, which you can get ore like life ore. I can't remember what it's called, vigor ore or something like that. And you combine that with other items, like a couple other items, to make a potion that increases your health by 10. Whenever you drink, when you drink it, it uses up the potion, but increases your health permanently by 10 until I get to 300. I have 350 because I have a trinket that increases my health by 50. It also revives me immediately with 25% of my health when I take fatal damage once with a 5-minute cooldown. It's really cool, really useful. So to explore the world and to like get ore and stuff, you don't find it on the surface. You actually have to go down into caves. And so I'll go down into one to show you. You'll see that I very much picked clean these caves quite a bit. But you'll find ore in like the rocks. You'll have to mine through them. You might see them sometimes. One thing I do like about this game, it has a torch hotkey. So if I hit R, I don't have any torches on. Oh, there. It has to be in your main inventory. So that's one thing. If you have torches in your void bag, and hotkeys don't detect stuff. I don't know if that's intended or if that's going to be changed later on. Since I started getting into game development myself, I can understand why that might be a weird thing to put. But you'll see ore. This is iron. You can also fish in caves. You can fish above ground. I might do a little bit of fishing since I already showed you guys combat. There's that. You can also go to other islands, as I have said before. So I'll show you a new island real quick. It's a potion that lets me. So I don't know why it's a potion that lets me teleport back to my base immediately or back to my spawn point immediately. Which beds can be used as spawn points? Any beds. Let me just go pop on my hoverboard, go to the edge of the map. Wait, let's go till daytime. One thing I do like is that you can skip nighttime segments by sleeping in a bed. One thing though is that like when you try to use the bed, it sets your spawn point or removes it if you already set the spawn point. But sleeping in a bed speeds up time after a couple seconds. All NPCs wake up at 6 a.m. or 6 as soon as it says morning, which is around 5:30, 6 a.m. in-game time. Hoverboard. Travel west. We'll go to this forest village since I go here a lot. To show you. So yeah, now I've gone to a new island. Whoop. I bounced so hard off of that. As you can see, there's an angler here, a farmer. They have houses, guards, which I don't have, which I'm tempted to like steal some of their guards. So many, and they don't get raided, I'm sure. Cute little church or school of some kind, possibly. That dude has an afro. Elizabeth has an afro. More villagers. They also have like gunsmiths, blacksmiths, stylists, which change your hair and outfit if you want. Look, see, there's. I wonder if the blacksmith offers anything. Nope. Maybe the blacksmith will offer new things if I like recruit him, since I've beaten all the bosses in the game. There's that. Now I will show you a couple of bosses, and then I'll show you how fishing works, because fishing seems to be a recurring thing in all these games. So some bosses can only be summoned at night. or in their respective biome, regardless of what time of day it is. I'll fight the first boss in the game, or what is I'm sure intended to be the first boss. And I'm also sure that any boss in the game can be beat if you get good, in the immortal words of Elden Ring and FromSoft game players. Um, so I will just put some torches out here so we can see the boss and what I'm fighting. All right. It's nighttime, so I'll use this mysterious portal. Evil's Protector, as you can see, is pretty weak sauce. I've already reduced him to like half his health. He does. I really like boss mechanics in this game. Like, I really do. I don't know how he detects. I'm curious to see how they detect, like, where to put the shots. He summons portals. It summons little minions. This boss is much harder when you're beginning the game and you fight him for the first time. You dodge around. He shows up, stands still. He jumps up. I'm pretty sure his jumps are actually scripted for certain percentages of health. But a lot of bosses, at least a lot of early game bosses, they not only get new move sets as the fight progresses, but they also their old move sets speed up, which I'm sure you can tell would be very vexing or challenging. So I'll go to the deep caves, which the next boss I'll show you is to show you the difference between the first boss and this boss, which might kill me. So it's going to rig stuff in my favor real quick. And then, where is it? Oh, right here. I'm blind. Woo! He went right for me there. As you can see, this boss moves a lot more. He's like very much mid-game boss. He's got stuff to distract my summons. Now he does that. Now that we've reduced his health a bit, that's added to his pattern. Throws his scythe, just moves in a circle, eventually catches his scythe because it brings back. And he still does the teleport thing, and he moves a bit faster now. Pop a heal there. So that I also like that there's a healing potion quick use button. As you can see, he's getting faster, and he's changed that a little bit to where he throws teleports to catch it. He's getting more aggressive with his teleports, like actually teleporting into me. Really goes for the kill there. But yeah. Combat's very straightforward. It's literally just move around, shoot or swing weapon, make sure weapon animation, the damaging part of your weapon animation, I should say, because the spears in this game, the shaft doesn't damage, only the tip of the spear damages. Oh wait, I don't have a spear. Yeah, I don't have a spear. Oh wait, yeah, I do. So like the damaging part is only the tip. The shaft does not damage. Which is important to note for that weapon. But yeah, that'll be it for this game. Some final thoughts on it. A lot of great things I like about this game. Some stuff I didn't even touch on because I want y'all to experience this game for yourself. Buy it. It's very low cost right now on the Steam store. Support the dev. I think you can even buy it directly from the game's website or the devlog website. I'm not sure. I haven't checked that actually because I bought it and haven't checked the actual website for it. But this is a wonderful gem of a game. It really makes me think of Terraria. I've got like 700 hours in that game. I love it with a passion. This very much reminds me of it. Introduces new concepts to it and really breathes life into uh, what Terraria has to offer. Necesse is a great game on its own, even for people who have never played a game like this before. It's very simple. I imagine the PC requirements aren't very demanding. Um, it's got great. It's the art in it's very good looking, very clean, not very cluttered or messy, which is one of my complaint with a lot of like pixel graphic games. The character models are very clean, easy to look at. You can tell where their faces, their eyes are. You know, um, yeah. And I mean, there's just a lot of great things about this game. A lot of things I like. I can't wait to see more of it. As I've said many times in this video. And please support the developer. Check this game out. Please, by all means, do. I don't know the developer. They have not contacted me or anything for this. I just wanted to make this to give a shout out to it because I love it so much. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.